In November, when fall is beginning, children head to school with faces grinning. Students growing tired of piles of work, this day I talk of nerd, fool, and jerk. On the cold morning journey there are three. In the early hours, the girls will have to flee. Of what they do and say I will report, good or bad motives I will not distort. The truth is what you will hear, all from me. In Doklan's room, the girls will shortly be. To hear about the rest of their travels, the stories told as their drive unravels. Before the anecdotes are arranged, let me confess their looks and acts unchanged. Each so different in their own big way, I will state their manners without delay. Unlike the rest, this one was far from blessed. Only with her were her parents still stressed. Tripping, falling was part of her label, partly because she could not stand stable. Not once did you see her in tight blue jeans, but rather in leggings, black by all means. Her good traits were not hard to find, yet they always seemed to be in a grind. She never gave up and was hard-working, even when people were meanly smirking. A nice name to call her was a big flirt, although she still could not remain unhurt. She did have her future goals all planned out, to play hockey at Temple beyond doubt. Her downsides included her flirtation and put her in a bad situation. Often partying and being crazy, red Solo cup in hand, she was hazy. But of her now I've said enough before I go and start to say bad stuff.
How was the sleepover?
It was really good. Kira is so perfect, and then Mackie, I can't say enough things about her. You know, she's so caring. Oh, excuse me. Hello? Oh, hi, Nick. Oh, tomorrow night? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm busy. Yeah, definitely another night. Okay, bye. Ooh, sorry. Yeah, but other than that, you know, it was great. Oh, excuse me. Hello? Oh, hi, Mike. Oh my God, tomorrow night? Yes, totally, just with you, tomorrow night. Yeah, totally. Okay, sounds good. Okay, bye. Yeah, so it was great.
There once was a girl of some 5'5", and to be blunt, I'm shocked she's still alive. She never failed to tell others the truth. However, this caused trouble in her youth. When speaking, she failed to sugarcoat, and often this left her with no scapegoat. For her humor was nothing learned in class, she was often referred to as an ass. There was more to her than just the downside. In fact, her good traits were too hard to hide. Believe it or not, she really did care for those who found themselves in despair. And I must add, in addition to this, helping others always gave her sweet bliss. Let's not forget, we mustn't ignore, the way she's treated others before. She once told Kira she'd stab her to death because she'd stolen her book titled Macbeth. Definitely, she's not one to harass. To tell you her name, I'd call her the Sass.
How was the sleepover?
Sucked. Why?
And?
It wasn't fun. First of all Kira wanted to do the whole night was study. Why the hell would you ask me to have a sleepover with you if whatever. And Nina, all she does is talk on the phone with her 97 boyfriends as if they don't know that she's dating all of them. I hate them both. I really do, to be honest with you. I hate them.
This girl was much different than the last. She longs for a future, yet has a past. A girl who wishes for only one thing, it is not for fame or a diamond ring. While she reads her books and studies hard math, all she wishes is to create her path. To study in buildings, all in ivy, her dreams of one day earning an MD. She dresses herself in the best attire, a white starched coat for all to admire. The books and classes are her driving force, to lead her forward and to stay on course. The A's keep her happy and make her smile. The thought of failure repulses with vile. Although she's every teacher's best pet, her own perfection is her biggest threat. Her driven nature and tenacious way cloud her compassion almost every day. She studies and reads and does all things right, so she'll never be wrong. One day her steadfast dreams will all come true, for now she journeys with this mismatched crew.
So, Kira, how was the sleepover?
It was quite conventional. You know, me being so assiduous, I just wanted to study the whole time, but Nina was just on the phone with her boyfriends the whole time, and Mackie was just, I don't even know what she was doing. She was just being so mean. I don't even know how they're expecting to go through with their future, quite honestly. Now, if you would excuse me, I'd like to get back to studying.
Nick, and then Nick was like, do you want to hang out tomorrow? And then Jake was like, oh my God, I want to hang out with you. So I was like, oh my God, Jake, I want to hang out with Jake more than Nick. And then Nick was like mad at me, and I was like,
Can you just shut up for a second, please?
yeah, do you want a drink?
Just 1 second.
Why don't
want to tell you a quick story.
Okay.
I will start my story with two small boys. I will tell all of their varying poise. The first young child was born into wealth, cocky and bold was his entitled health. The other infant was poor and kind. He worked hard, always using his mind. And one afternoon when the two boys met, a tale was created of the duet. The snob said to the humble paragon, he sought the fame of a phenomenon. The paragon chuckled and professed, if you want that reward, then try your best. The snob turned and spit in his face, later to learn he had lost the race. While the rich boy sat and watched life pass, the other studied hard and surpassed. With a scholarship and his strong conscience, he excelled in the complex of science. When the snob had lost all of his money, he thought of the boy that once was funny. He turned on the TV, only to see his foe was what he had wanted to be. Standing on stage, Nobel Prize in hand, for curing cancer he found the right strand. The snob stood in shock and cursed his name for the famous man he never became. The snob now poor and the other now rich. The tables have turned and the roles are switched. The old scientist sits in his office to read of news that makes him nauseous. His past friend that had the world in his hands, with rope around his neck, he now not stands.
On that note, I'm going to sleep.
And on that note, I'm going to call Ben.
Guess I'm just gonna keep working hard.
Good night.
So, Mackie, how did you feel about the nerd story?
Well, honestly, it probably sucked more than the sleepover did. It wasn't even realistic, okay? Tell me one time, once, in real life, not a story, that you won something without cheating. It's literally impossible.
Never.
Never!
Never.
What do you think of the nerd story?
It was alright. It was good. I dated a nice guy, and he now works at Apple, and I dropped my phone in water, and I went in and he got me a new phone. So, I really do like nice guys. Nice guys are really good. Yeah.
Are you ready to go? It's 6 o'clock and school starts at 7.
No, thanks. Thanks for telling me, girl.
And first of all, are you wearing that?
Are you wearing that?
You slept in that last night.
Well, I look better than you. Every day.
Okay, we need to get in the car because we only have an hour to get to school.
Fine. Ugh.
Come on, let's go.
I'm going.
After you. Where's Nina? Nina!
Nina, let's go.
I'm coming. Bye, Jared.
Nina, that's not even a car. Let's go.
You're right. Okay, looks like we're here. 45 minutes early. Perfect.
Of course we're early. We are every single day, yet you rush me all the time. You know what? Let me tell a story in the meantime. And for my tale, I will tell of a race, something like a political debate. There were exactly two competitors, one was brash and one all too regular. The old man was wise and kind beyond words, and the younger man was seen as absurd. For sake of time, I will shorten their names to Man 2 and Man 1, and I must claim that all I recount will be straight-up truth. Therefore, nothing I say I will rebuke. Man 1, I do know, was a kind old fellow, easily could be referred to as mellow. Man 2, might I add, was far from a priest. He was competitive, to say the least. By stopping at none to make sure he'd win, he lacked concern when committing sin. So when the two were ready to compete, Man 2 sure knew that he would cheat. By using slander to down the old man, he put to use his smart yet evil plan, and used for profit Man 1's childish past to ensure voters' bad opinions would last. 2 spoke out against Man 1's old habits, although 'twas clear they'd no longer wreak havoc. All he cared of was coming out on top. Some things he said put listeners in shock. All the while, Man 1 refused to mimic Man 2's ways. He saw them as a gimmick. He did refuse to hit below the belt, and in the end, 1's whole campaign did melt. I suppose it shows nice guys never win, so in the end, when it came to the fin, Man number 2 came out victorious, even though he was surely notorious. Just for getting done what needed to be, his awful traits seemed to be the key. It really did help him to be an ass, because as we know, nice guys finish last.
Okay, stop. That was clearly the end of your story. The moral was just absurd.
It was better than your story. I fell asleep during yours.
Okay, first of all, you did not. Your eyes were clearly open. But you know what? We're gonna be late for first period. We only have an hour. Let's go.
Okay,
Whatever.
Let's go. Oh, I can't open the door.
So, Kira, how did you feel about the jerk story?
It was completely idiotic. Since when have you heard of anybody in the modern world succeeding without hard work? Hard work and morality is the backbone of this country, and her story was just completely erroneous.
How was your reaction to the jerk story?
It was a good story. She's a good storyteller. But, I don't know. I was too busy thinking about some of my friends.
Okay, girls, so what's the issue here?
It's nothing but a bit of organic contention, that's all.
What does organic contention mean?
Just some natural problems that we have with each other, but that's okay, because that's natural human instinct.
And Mackie, how do you feel about that?
No comment.
Okay, Kira?
So now that I have professed my knowledge, it is now time for their tales to be acknowledged. The fool will soon judge their telltale game, the nerd or the jerk will soon be proclaimed. For 1 cup of coffee they will compete, whose moral story will win such a treat. I'll start with the nerd who wants perfection and end with the jerk seeking connection. The rules are simple, they have 5 minutes to tell a tale without such limits. Both girls will share their ultimate tales in hopes that she is the one to prevail. The stories tell of an ass and saint, their motives are different without complaint. Now that I have explained their contention, to the tales I will return.